At a media briefing held today, UNP Western Provincial Councillor Mujibur Rahman said that the government is trying to take powers entrusted to provincial councils yet again.
ඊයේ බස්නාහිර පළාත් සභාවට ආණ්ඩුව ඉදිරිපත් කරා නගර සභා නගර සහ ග්‍රාම නිර්මාණ සංශෝධන පනත.
Yesterday, the government presented the Town and Country Planning Ordinance Amendment Bill to the Western Provincial Council. Through this act, it is not the 13 plus but the 13 minus which has been presented. Through this bill, the government is trying to take some land powers that had been given to provincial councils through the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, yet again under the central government. We saw recently government is saying that they will go for a solution beyond the 13th Amendment to the Constitution to find a solution for the ethnic issue. While saying that, on the other hand, they are trying to curtail land powers that had been given for provincial councils.
Opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe received financial aid today as well for the rebuilding of the United National Party headquarters, Sirikutta.
North Central Provincial Councillor Prasanna Mahindaratne made a donation of 200,000 rupees today for the rebuilding of the UNP headquarters. This donation was made at the official residence of the Mayor of Colombo. It is from here that the United National Party has been built. Indisciplined persons who get drunk and throw stones do not belong to the United National Party. No matter how many names they have or how much they talk to the media, they are not from the UNP. We need people who have gentlemanly qualities.
Today is the fourth day of the Datakirul exhibition. Now, the exhibition has been extended until the 12th of this month as a result of the requests made by the public.
The Datakirula National Development Exhibition was scheduled to conclude on the 10th of this month. However, upon considering the high demand among the people, President Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed officials to extend the exhibition. Issuing a communique, the Presidential Media Unit said that as of yesterday, over 1.1 million people had visited the exhibition grounds. Minister Wanjit Simalapitia toured the exhibition grounds by air today due to the heavy traffic congestion on the ground. Minister of Child Development and Women's Affairs Tissa Karliadde presented prizes to the winners of various competitions. The Sri Lanka Air Force also made several presentations. The Datakirula National Development Committee states that close to 1 million people had visited the exhibition as of today.
Minister of Traditional Industries and Small Enterprises Douglas Devananda has said that he took moral responsibility for the Chulemedu firing in 1986, where one person was killed. According to IBN Live, an Indian-based website, Minister Devananda has made this remark in an interview with the Tamil news channel Puthiya Thalemure. Quoting the Puthiya Thalemure news channel, IBN Live reports that the minister had said that he took the decision because members of the EPRLF were involved in the shooting. On November 1st, 1986, an EPRLF cadre had opened fire on a group of area residents of Chulemedu, India, killing one person and injuring 4 others. IBN Live reports that apart from this case, the minister faced 2 other cases in India pertaining to kidnapping and criminal intimidation.
Secretary to the President, Lalit Veeratunga, states that for children to become good citizens with good values, there has to be a good religious education as well as school education. He made the statement at an event held at the Kirti Sri Tapowanarama in Pallavela, Hakmana.
This event was held to declare open the Vihara Mandirya and a Sivali statue at the Kirti Sri Tapowanarama in Pallavela. No matter how much wealth you save for your children, one day that wealth will be lost. The biggest gift that you can give your children is education. Not only school education, if they do not become citizens with respect for values, then you will also have to face the problem. You can send your children to the Sunday schools at the temples to educate them in these values, and you can teach them values which are not being taught in schools. Your children and you can obtain it from these temples. With development under the leadership of His Excellency the President and his guidance, we have been able to bring a large sum of money and develop these areas. We have secured a massive freedom. Today the hope of the President is to achieve economic freedom. Today in terms of development, our areas are of a high standard.
On the 26th of January, the bhikkhus and trustees of the Sri Kettarama Vihara in Kapparatota, Weligama engaged in a demonstration stating that it was no longer possible to maintain the Sunday school and preschool which are operated alongside the Vihara. This demonstration was staged against the Weligama Urban Council. This swampland adjacent to the Ekala Alla, which runs alongside the Vihara, was being used to dispose of the waste collected daily within the Weligama urban limits.
අපට විහාරස්ථානය තුල වැඩ සිටීමට පවා හැකියාවක් නැති තත්වයකට පත් වෙලා තියෙන මේ අධික ලෙස
We are unable to remain inside the Vihara due to the stench. When it rains and water flows through the Vihara, it leaves all the waste in its wake.
ගලාගෙන යනකොට අර අපවිත්‍ර ද්‍රව්‍ය ඔක්කොම පන්සල හරහා ගලාගෙන යනවා.
Bhikkhus who reside here have been made to allocate time to clean up the waste which is left behind. A lot of people have stopped sending their children to the Sunday school as they can no longer bear the smell. It has become a huge problem for us to continue to maintain this Sunday school.
We have a problem with flies at the preschool. Children have to eat with their lunch boxes half closed. Then there is the smell. Most of the time we keep the windows closed.
The Urban Council has also taken care to establish a vegetable and animal farm adjacent to this landfill. We are receiving a large income without causing any harm from the milk of these cows. We do not kill the cattle, we do not kill the goats, we use the fertilizer to increase the quality. As a local government institution, the prime responsibility of the Weligama Urban Council is to implement a program to ensure the sanitary facilities of the tax-paying residents and not to make profits. When the Urban Council disregards implementing such a program and instead disposes of waste in a manner which threatens the health of the people, isn't urgent intervention an absolute necessity? Commissioner of Local Government for the Southern Province, this one is over to you.
In business news tonight, the interest rates on treasury bills increased by 55 basis points at the auction held yesterday. According to data released by the Public Debt Department of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, treasury bills to the tune of 10 billion rupees were presented for yesterday's auction.
At yesterday's auction, the interest rate on 3-month treasury bills was 9.24%. This was an increase of 56 basis points compared to the rate at the previous auction. The interest rate on 6-month treasury bills increased by 55 basis points to 9.26%. Treasury bills with a 1-year term saw a rare increase of 58 basis points to 9.88%. Bids to the value of 17.2 billion rupees were presented for the auction under the above interest rates. However, the central bank decided to accept only 5.3 billion rupees. Last Friday, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka increased its repurchase rate and the reverse repurchase rate by 50 basis points, causing the interest rates on treasury bills to rise as well.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Fest. Starting off with some badminton news now. National badminton champion Niluka Karunaratne states that he has reached a level where he could qualify to compete in the Olympics. However, his participation in the Olympics will be decided based on future victories. Upon arriving in the island after winning the gold medal in the men's singles event at Uganda International Badminton Tournament, he made this statement to Sports First.
Since last September to the present, Niluka Karunaratne has represented Sri Lanka in 7 international badminton tournaments. He has won the men's singles event in 4 of these tournaments and was runner-up in 1 tournament. Ranked 169 in the world last year, he climbed the rankings following these victories. After these victories, my world rank climbed to 62 or 63. This is a massive victory. Through this, the chances of me participating in the Olympics has increased. Shuttlers from 38 countries will qualify for the Olympics in London this year based on their performances in tournaments held up to April this year. The top 75 shuttlers in the world rankings have an increased chance of participating in the Olympics. There are 2 months more to qualify, so my hope is to compete in tournaments in this time frame and climb the world rankings as much as possible.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Prime Time News. Don't forget, we are on the World Wide Web at www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Sonali Manikabadage.
And I'm Shen Silva. Good night.